Dobro veče, dobrodošli u Veče sa Ivanom Ivanovićem. Večera sa vama David Coulthard. Muzička gošća Tijana Bogićević. Zabavlja vas Ana Štajdohar sa bendom. A sada naš pilot, vaš domaćin, Ivan Ivanović.
Dobro veče svima. Dobro veče. Ja lično mislim da, s obzirom na godište naše publike, Bane, nije dobra ideja da ovoliko dugo aplaudiraju. To je već koliko, 45 sekundi fizičke aktivnosti, ustani na noge, sedi dole i sad kad ih preseče ova hladna klima koju si podesio. Dobro veče svima. Proglašavam 14. sezonu otvorenom, zvanično. Da naglasim da smo 13. preživeli, jel' tako? Tako da u 14. ništa loše ne bi trebalo da nam se desi. Oslonit ćemo se na to. Ja sam očekivao da ćemo krenuti lepim vestima iz sporta, vezanim za košarku, to se nije desilo, ali mogu da vas pozovem da čestite zlatnu medalju našim basketašima 3x3. Da. To je to. I toliko od lepih vesti iz srpskog sporta. Šalim se, evo krenemo od sporta, može, stvarno, koji uvijek. Muhamed Ali je apstinirao od seksa po 2 meseca pred velike mečeve, tvrdeći da ga to čini nepobedivim. I zato, u desnom uglu, težak 90 kg, nepobedivi svetski šampion spreman kao niko, Branko Dimitrijević! Tako je. Bane apstinira od seksa već 10 godina jer želi da stvarno bude nepobediv. Znaš, je tako, Bane? Normalno. I da navijemo jedan koncert, može, to je uvijek okej. Vlatko Stefanovski i Tanec, nacionalni folklorni ansambl Severne Makedonije. 25. septembra nastupaju u Beogradu na Kolarcu od 20 sati.
Sa velikim zadovoljstvom bih hteo da najavim koncert koji će se održati 25. septembra na Kolarcu. Naime, dolazim sa jednom velikom ekipom, sa orkestrom i sa horom nacionalnog ansambla Tanec iz Makedonije. Svirat ćemo tradicionalnu muziku, ali na sasvim novi način, u novim aranžmanima. Nemojte propustiti priliku da vidite i čujete nešto zaista nesvakidašnje i nešto spektakularno. Očekujem vas na Kolarcu 25. septembra u Beogradu. Veliki pozdrav iz Skoplja, Vlatko Stefanovski.
Tako je, mi idemo sada na reklame. Dok traju reklame, zabavljat će vas bend Ane Štajdohar sa Anom Štajdohar na poziciji pevača i Demonjom na poziciji libera. Vidimo se posle reklama, nastavljamo emisiju. Uživajte.
Ostanite sa nama.
Got my pronunciation correctly. Dobro veče, yeah. There's a lot of events going on this weekend.
Totally crazy tomorrow.
The guy who finished second knows. His family knows, but we don't know.
You basically filled his place in a team.
It's impossible to replace someone like Senna. I've seen him cry, he's seen me cry with emotion. When you've been through all of those emotions with a teammate, you really know that person.
With whom you didn't have such a good relations.
My ex-wife? He thought I'd done something deliberately, which is, I would never do. I noticed we're not that too dissimilar in size, so maybe you should come down and drive the car.
My weight is for the monster trucks, you know?
What are you, like 75, 76 kilos?
In primary school, yeah. Objašnjenje predsjednika zašto nema mleka.
Nisam ni primetio, znate, ja pred spavanje pijem šolju glogovog trnja.
We're
Dobro, ne znam da li znate da je retrogradni Merkur. Jeste osjetili već na svojoj koži ili niste? Da. Ali kažu da kad izađete iz kuće, dok je retrogradni Merkur, kad izađete iz kuće, ako se vratite kao da ste nešto zaboravili, što inače jeste maler. Ako je retrogradni Merkur, onda nije maler. Horoskop.
Horoskop. Rak. Posao.
Ne želite da odustanete od svojih snova, pa ste umjesto da odete na posao nastavili da spavate.
Zdravlje.
Život je kao kutija krofni, ne traje dugo ako ste debeli.
Ljubav.
Možda i postoji neka hrana koja je afrodizijak, ali to sigurno nije svadbena torta.
Lav. Posao.
Šef već 2 dana nije zvao da mu pogledate ovaj kompjuter, opet nešto ne radi. Poslali ste kolegu da proveri da li je živ.
Zdravlje.
Zaboleo vas je lakat, pa ste googlali čega je to simptom i ispostavlja se da ili je rak ili nije ništa.
Ljubav.
Nemate pojma koje su boje oči vaše supruge, pošto stalno prevrće očima dok joj se obraćate.
Da. Uvijek me zabrine ovo. I vidio sam ja jedan naslov, 10 simptoma raka, tako je pisalo. I nisam otvorio. Kad god sam otvorio takav tekst, imam bar 5. Realno, što god da osjetite, možda bude simptom raka. I možda ni udar, još gore. Trne ruka, pa meni trne ruka svaki drugi dan. To je za infarkt, nije bitno kako znam. Pa ne, ali realno, nemojte čitati to uopšte. Ako vam nije dobro, idite kod lekara. Ako vam je dobro, nemojte čitati ništa uopšte. Živite život, pa kad se završi. Možda se vidimo sljedećeg petka. Ne mislim sam na vas, ne na mene. Nije... Okej. Svilajnac dobija mlekaru. Bravo, još krave da nađu i... To je to. U Užicu je održana radionica za decu Slikaj kao u neolitu. Bane čeka radionicu Piši kao u neolitu. Tako... Važna vest, radijatori topli od 15. oktobra, a braća još danas i sutra. Jel... Ne znam šta je... Zanimljivo mi je strašno. Imam epizodu danas, a šetnja treba da je sutra, jel tako? Ali imam epizodu i sutra, ali sam je snimao juče. Ja mislim da je to tako organizovano kako ja ne bi mogao ništa da kažem o... Majke mi mislim da je to. Ali... Za mene to sve rađa veliku dilemu. Ne znam kako se vi osjećate po tom pitanju. Ja potpuno razumem ove koji hoće porodicu i tako. Ali ako sam dobro razumeo, ovi što šetaju, oni isto hoće porodicu. Pa sam dobro shvatio. Sad ovi ako misle da imaju prava na porodicu, zašto ovi ne bi imali prava na porodicu? Ako uđemo sad u to da njihova porodica kao nije po volji, recimo moja porodica prva nije po volji nikome u ovoj zemlji, onda smo tu, jel tako? Ako smo nešto obećali, onda moramo da ispunimo obećanje. Jel tako? Tako da, ne znam. Sutra imamo, možda imamo šetnju, Europride, možda imamo litiju ovu za zaštitu, ti si bio, kako se zove tačno? Litija za zaštitu porodice i tradicionalnih vrednosti. Imamo promociju oficira, imamo Formulu 1 vožnju kroz Beograd i sigurno imamo još nešto čega se nisam setio. Okej? Tako da ja cenim da će ceo Beograd da bude na ulici. Ima mesta za sve, gospođo. Tako ja kažem, pustite ljude da šetaju. Pogotovo ako ste im to obećali. Ipak, pošto je sad svima biti čudno što sam ja ovo rekao, ja želim da naglasim da lezbijke volim malo više. To možda nije važno, ali za njih imam više razumevanja. Povećan broj sklopljenih brakova u Kragujevcu. Šta su ti Kragujevčani? Samo nisu da sklapaju. Samo da sklapaju. Svinja prodefilovala Novim Beogradom. Akcija Svinjski prodefile 749,99. Niko ne kaže, neću da svinja šeta, to ugrožava moju tradicionalnu porodicu koja jede svinju, a ne gleda je dok šeta. Škole nastavnike traže na Instagramu. Eto, mačkica, šta radim na Instagramu, tražim nastavnike. Osi odmah frka, eto. Još jedan važan naslov, simptomi liče na hemoroide, ali razlog je znatno opasniji. Cimer saksofonista. Evo, bit ću iskren, 14. sezona možemo, znači nije Demonja, nije poznato da je on homoseksualac, nije, da kažem, ne vodi se kao takav, ali je kod komičara sad kad bi tražio nekog u bendu ko bi mogao da bude gej, realno da ćeš uzeti tipa koji provodi ceo dan. Ja tako? Mislim, šta ovaj? Ili ovaj? Oj, tek. Basista sigurno nije derpe, jer mu ga on daje elegantno. Znaš. Ali ne znamo, nije, znači nije... To je zbog šale, za potrebe komedije, jel' tako? Ovi što mu šalju poruke, sad da, prestanite mu šaljite poruke, okej? Evo, kaže, ne morate tako da šaljite mu poruke. Ali šaljite onda i neku sliku, majku mu, tako? Samo... A znaš zašto sam pokazao ovako? Veći od ozdo, bravo, Demonja! Pusti sad Ana to. Pusti. Nije, traži nastavnica, pusti. Broj samoubistava u Srbiji se u poslednje 4 godine smanjio za 12%. Ko da se Vojvodina odcepila, ne de Bože. Borivo je kod Nove Varoši napalo 5 pasa lutalica. Bolje da je bežao nego što ih je brojao. Sa poboljšanim imamo još jednu najavu, možemo. Vidim da ste zbunjeni ste sada, da li ovo, da li šta je, vrati. Ušto se pretvori prva epizoda, majko. Ti šta pričaš, zato izabrao nisku ženu. Ljudi ste sad zamišljaju kako ideš i... Eto, nevolje nijotkuda. Dobro, Avatar. Sa poboljšanim zvukom i slikom u 4K rezoluciji, ovaj legendarni film, jedan od najgledanijih svih vremena, 21. septembra premijerno stiže u bioskope i time najavljuje drugi deo dugo iščekivanog spektakla Jamesa Camerona Avatar, Put vode. Sveća nije Put mleka, ne bi mogli ga gledamo. Koji je u decembru na repertoarima. Tako da spremite se, kreće Avatar ludilo, a mi gledamo zanimljive činjenice. Naprednjaci u Novom Sadu se nadaju da Vučić neće dolaziti u jesenju posetu u ovom gradu, jer će biti baš komplikovano ozeleniti svo golo drveće. Princ Charles je jedini čovek koji je celog života bio penzioner, pa u starosti počeo da radi. Predsednik Vučić ne zna da li je ispravan termin homoseksualci, pa mora da se konsultuje sa Anom Brnabić, jer ona bolje stoji sa jezikom. Prema procenama predsednika Vučića, 60% Srba koji kupuju dugotrajno mleko su nepravedno izostavljeni sa Forbesove liste. U Britaniji su trenutno 2 čoveka u najvećoj nedoumici. Charles, kako voditi kraljevstvo, i David Beckham, kako biti najelegantniji na kraljevičnoj sahrani. Jedan američki bračni par je izjavio: napustili smo crkvu i postali svingeri, jer jedino to ne može u crkvi. Velika nedoumica bila je u ekipi, iskreno da vam kažem. Zašto mi u stvari ne znamo da li može ili ne može. Ali ja pretpostavljam, da ako se greh odvija, sigurno ne želite da ga delite sa drugim ljudima koji greše u istom trenutku kada i vi. Tako? Tako da znači nema svingeraja. Naslov... Sve okej? Da. Naslov: Meghan Markle i princ Harry dovode decu na sahranu kraljice Elizabete II, jer je Meghan u fazonu da sreća nije sreća ako je ne podeliš sa najbližima. Inače, ne znam da li ste čuli vest, pčelar kraljevske porodice je tiho saopštio pčelama da je kraljica umrla. Da znaju da pojačaju sa voskom za sveće. Kralj Charles ima slugu koju mu stavlja pastu na četkicu. A ako zajebeš nešto sa pastom, prebacite na toalet papir. Jedna Bosanka bila je imam, pa promenila pol. Sad je nemam. Gledamo vesti iz budućnosti.
Gledate vesti iz budućnosti za 16. septembar 2032. godine. Predsjednik Aleksandar Vučić najavio je nova poskupljenja struje i gasa, prouzrokovana energetskom krizom usled rata između Željka Mitrovića i bake Praseta. Vlada Srbije donela je nove mere za uštedu električne energije. Televizor sme da bude uključen jedino ako se gleda televizija Pink. Odluka je saopštena u vestima televizije Pink. Kralj Engleske Charles i dalje ne veruje šta je čekao tolike decenije. Mislio sam da je zezanje bolje, izjavio je vidno razočarani Charles. Predsjednik Aleksandar Vučić 10. godinu za redom pobeđuje na takmičenju u ispijanju vina Otvoreni Balkan i osvaja titulu Kralj Malvazije. Aleksandar Šapić objavio je da i dalje voli filmove Stanleya Kubricka, ali da mu je ipak zanimljivije slaganje njegove Kubrickove kocke. Gledali ste vesti koje će biti.
Zorica Marković je izjavila: prevrnuću grad da nađem Batistutu. Izgleda da je i Vesić onomad tražio Batistutu. U crtanom filmu Pepa Prase prvi put predstavljen istopolni par. Tačno će Boško Obradoviću i Prasetinu dogada. To je... Ne znam. Kao što je već rekao, Zorica Marković izjavila: prevrnuću Beograd da nađem Batistutu. Pa da vidi i on šta je Živi zid, brate. U crtanom filmu Pepa Prase, ne znam da sam vam rekao to, predstavljen istopolni par po prvi put. Pa ti sad uzmi taj repić. Ja bih krenuo od uveta za svaki slučaj, nikad se ne zna gde je bio sve taj repić. Gledamo Dnevnik malog Aleka.
Dobar dan, pratite Dnevnik.
Dragi Dnevniče, drugar Aca Šapić kaže da je na raspustu najviše gledao filmove Stanleya Kubricka, mada voli Ridleya Scotta, Stevena Spielberga i Alfreda Hitchcocka. Nastavnici kažu da ćemo imati kontrolni sa pitanjima o Kosovu i da odcepimo 2 lista. Ja sam spreman jer sam već odcepio, sad samo da nađem odgovore. Izgleda da nećemo imati dovoljno struje u školi, ali to je samo faza. Redari će imati obavezu da ko zadnji izađe, neka ugasi sveću. Sve u svemu, stalno neki problemi.
Da... Goran Vesić je izjavio: u SNS-u ima onih koji šalju 100 SMS poruka da bi dobili neku funkciju. Svaka poruka 300 dinđi, pa ti vidi. Predsjednik Vučić, poslaničke grupe se ne bi dogovorile ni da li da jedemo grisine ili smoki. Izabrali bi plazmu, ali nema mleka. Došlo je naših 5 minuta za nas koji ne pijemo mleko. Evo vam ga na. Zvao sam Kevu i Čaleta. Evo vam mleko, vaše mleko. Ja sam još pre 40 godina rekao da je to sranje piće. Šešelj uručen orden Svetog vladike Mardarija. Ili Mavdavija, ne znam, slušao sam njegovu izjavu. Pa ne znam, stvarno ne znam šta da radim. Novine pišu: Vučić gasi Srpsku naprednu stranku i formira Moju Srbiju. Jer što kaže narod, Vučić stranku menja, ali... Hteo je i ranije, ali Srbija još nije bila njegova. Tako da... Veliki naslov: svaki građanin Srbije dužan je 4000 evra. Zato treba praviti decu da dug bude što manje. Mi od kad imamo Lolu preporodili smo se. Kao... Pa jest tako. Vi sigurno mnogo bolje živite od kad imate 2 dece. Ha! Jako budala i Staša bila sama, umjesto sam pravio 5, sad bi imao pare onoliko. Predsjednik Vučić, poslaničke grupe se ne bi dogovorili ni da li da jedemo grisine ili smoki, ali oko muzike pao dogovor.
I kao što stih jedne popularne pesme kaže...
Kako se zove ta pesma?
Ti lutaš, bebo.
Ti lutaš, bebo.
Skrenuo si s puta, bebo.
Meni je baš drago što ste to pomenuli. Ali je važno da ljudi znaju i kako se zove ta pesma.
Ti lutaš, bebo.
Ti lutaš, bebo.
Zorana Mihajlović izjavila Evropa je naša sudbina. Jedino što nas nije sebi uzela. Šta da radimo? Patrijarh Porfirije odlučio. U svim crkvama počinje svakodnevna molitva za svetinju braka i porodice, pošto je molitva protiv poreza uspela. Dobro, ne znam. Nije, stvarno mene to interesuje na nivou kod čoveka. Evo, recimo, što bi rekao moja pokojna baba, pretpostavka. Kada uđete u crkvu, da se pomolite Bogu, ili tako? Ili da se ispovedite i pričestite. Niko vas ne pita da li ste geji. Ali tako? Što znači, teoretski, da biste vi mogli biti geji, ući tako neprimećeni u crkvu, ispovediti se, prećutati svoje gej grehove, nego samo ove opšte prihvaćene, sveštenik vam kaže Bog je veliki, on će da ti oprosti, pričestite se i onda je faktički Bog odobrio vas kao geja da smete da verujete u njega. Je li tako? Ovo sam rekao samo da bi eksplodirale lobanje ovim desničarima sad oko ovo priča. Ali realno, teoretski gledano, vi možete sa svojim gej partnerom da dođete u crkvu, da se ne držite za ruke, okej? Nego ono kao. Ili ono kao. Se pravite toša, da idete jedan kod jednog sveštenika, drugi kod drugog, priznate svoje grehe, ovo se opet kažem, ne gej grehe, nego ove. Mada i gej grehe, ako biste priznali, ako je Bog veliki i Bog nas sve voli, u principu, ako ste se pokajali. Tako funkcioniše hrišćanstvo i pravoslavlje pogotovo. Ali tako? Što znači? Ako Bog prihvati nekoga ko je gej, kako sada, razumete? Eto, nemam pojma. Možda previše razmišljam o tome. Aleksandar Vučić je rekao, pronađite nekog ko kao ja toliko vremena može da sedi u Skupštini bez da ode u toalet i ruča. Pa ja ne znam nikoga ko ruča u toaletu, brate. Dobro, leto je prošlo, bilo je burno, ja sam letovao u Rovinju kao i uvek, gomila Srba je bila tamo, ne znam da li znate, jer Srbija je ovog leta letela 6 puta nedeljno za Istru samo, plus letovi za Split, Zadar, Dubrovnik i zaradila najviše para u posljednjih ne znam koliko godina u avgustu mesecu. Arena Sport ima 9 svojih kanala u Hrvatskoj, na kojima rade samo Hrvati. 30% konobara u svim restoranima su Srbi i oko 20 do 30% gostiju u Istri su svi Srbi. Međutim, nekako samo sam ja primećen. Valjda zato što sam visok, nemam pojma. To je neko teško opterećenje. U svakom slučaju, bilo je pokušaja da se zakuva odnos između mene i predsjednika. Predsjednik se nije dao. On je odmah rekao da sam ja car, da sam iznad njega i da je njemu to okej. Ali... Da ne bude zabune. Ja njega mnogo volim i više od toga ga poštujem. Tako da ćete i u ovoj sezoni gledati žurnal.
Predsjednik Srbije Aleksandar Vučić je 10. septembra na Twitteru objavio poruku: radimo i borimo se za svoj narod. Srbija će pobediti. Već 11. smo saznali da nije mislio na košarkašku reprezentaciju Srbije. Predsjednik Srbije Aleksandar Vučić je rekao: saopšteno mi je da je Putin podigao zavesu. I sada, kad je već podignuta zavesa, moramo svi da igramo. Predsjednik Vučić je Ujedinjenim Arapskim Emiratima obezbedio zajam od $1 milijardu. Vučić je tokom posete Abu Dabiju 4 sata proveo sa šejkom Muhamedom bin Zayedom, što znači da je sat $250 miliona. Predsjednik Vučić je objavio razgovor sa izaslanicima Makrona, Šolca i Lajčaka i rekao da smo dobili od njih predlog potpuno nove armature razgovora u Briselu. Armaturu čupaju iz temelja sreće, niko kao Kurti voleti ih neće.
Da. I dobro, idemo na rubriku Biser. Sad to se zove Biser nedelja, ali iza nas je cijelo leto, pa ima tu malo svega. Tako da na trećem mestu Newsmax Adria i njihova čuvena priča Rick i Morty.
Lepa vest ili crtani film za kraj. Naime, Srbija je dogurala do američke naučno-fantastične komične animirane serije Rick i Morty. Na bilbordima se vidi čovek sa naočarima kako se obraća sa ružičaste televizije. Osnovna škola Tesla Đoković i fakultet pravi, a ne privatni, nalaze se u zgradi u kojoj je i kazino. Prodavnica marihuane zove se Jovanjica, a evo kako su se Rick i Morty proveli u baru Guslar.
Oh, jeez, Rick. What is this place? This is Serbia, Morty. The craziest place in the universe. Serbians. You never know what you're gonna get with them. They are only good at one thing. Basketball. Basketball, Morty. Centuries of fighting created a race of angry giants. You know that stupid idea to go back in time and kill Hitler to stop World War II? You know how you know that wouldn't work? Because the Serbs, they did something similar. You know what happened? World War I. Look it up. It's true. Complete paradox in the universe. Then, Rick, why are we here in this? Because of this, Morty. Right here. You don't survive centuries under tyrannic sultans by drinking cocktails on the beach. You make poison that hurts more than anything life can throw at you. That's how you win, Morty? I don't know, Rick. Maybe you should test it first and see if... You're correct, Morty. Open wide, down the hatch. Oh my God, Rick, I see it. I see a better version of myself, free from rules and obligations, free to do everything but ultimately will do nothing. Oh God. I'll take 3.
Ono što Amerikanci gledaju u naučno-fantastičnim crtaćima, mi živimo. Bajke će večeras jedan čovek pričati na jednoj drugoj televiziji, a vi ostanite uz Novu S zdravije. Vidimo se i sutra u 8.
Da. Ovu epizodu pravio Nikola Silić, koji je, znači nije prava epizoda, radio je Nikola Silić, kako kažu za njega, stand-up komičar i scenarista Šolakove pudlice Ivana Ivanovića. Tako je pisalo u... Da. Istina je stvarno da je naš scenarista, naš saradnik. Nikola Silić je ovaj čovek koji vam čita vesti iz budućnosti. Tako da je on sve ovo napravio, to se toliko dopalo i ljudima koji su vlasnici licence za Ricka i Mortija, da su čak njegov video stavili na zvanični sajt i tako dalje, ali eto, ovde se verovalo u neku drugu verziju, pa je to prenela Nova S, pa su preneli svi, pa je onda na Twitteru izašlo da je on i tako dalje, bio veliki bum tras. Međutim, ni nalik onome što je na mesto broj 2. Na mesto broj 2, jedan klasik srpskog novinarstva tabloidnog. Loše vesti, neviđena tragedija, umrla Mina Vrbaški. I onda piše ispod Mina Vrbaški novim fotografijama podigla javnost na noge. Ukoliko ste mislili da se poznatoj reality učesnici desilo nešto loše, prevarili ste se. Nismo, vi ste nas prevarili, okej? Vi ste nas prevarili, nismo se sami prevarili. Tako da, eto, živa je devojka. Ne znam uopšte zašto ovo ljudi rade. Evo, majke mi, ne mogu da shvatim i dalje. Umrla, ti klikneš, ona živa. Pa da je živa, ne bi klikao uopšte. Ali me razumete? Nije ni važno. Idemo na mesto broj 1. Novinarsko-televizijska, komentatorsko-sportska tragedija. Jedna nesreća, da kažem, pogledajmo.
Ajde, Marko, neka go! Vučiću! Marko! Vučiću! Pederu! 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 Vučiću! Pederu!
Jadan čovjek je u fazonu, nemojte, ostaću bez posla. Ja sam ovo gledao, inače gledao sam izjavu Kalinića i ti tačno vidiš dečka kako kao hoće da stane kad mu pokazuje. Ali budimo realni, ovom momku sigurno nije prijatno. Setite se Strajnića kad je doživeo isto ovo, setite se njegovog izraza lica. Tako da ja kapiram da im nije lako, ali eto, to je naša realnost. To ljudi iz dijaspore, bar u Pragu, misle i eto, meni je mnogo žao što je to tako, ali je tako. U svakom slučaju, večera sa nama sjajan gost, kome nikada nisu vikali da je peder. Nikada. David Coulthard. Za 3 sekunde. Ovde. Dobro, vreme za mog večerašnjeg gosta, za razliku od nekih prethodnih sezona. Ovo, pošto je jubilarna 14. rešili smo da krenemo malo laganije, onako skromno, u skladu sa mogućnostima. Tako da će naš večerašnji gost biti David Coulthard. Yeah. This is how I get the applause, you know. I just bring somebody who's really famous, and then we have it for a minute or something like that. Welcome to my show, David. It's a great, really great pleasure and honor to have you here. But I would like to start from what brings you to Belgrade. It's like there is some reason with Red Bull show run, and I'm sure you're going to explain it much better than I will. You will drive the Formula One through Belgrade, yeah?
Yeah, indeed. Well, look, first of all, if I've got my pronunciation correctly, Dobrović.
Dobrović, yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's very good, yeah. It's very good, yeah.
Good evening.
You got it right.
I try. You know, it's difficult to pronounce other words because, you know, I'm British, but I'm Scottish.
Oh,
so
I know.
we have an accent. And
basically, I don't understand Scottish people at all. I was there. After we have a few drinks, then I understand them. But before that, you know.
Yeah, it's
really hard
complicated.
for me. It's really hard for me.
It is indeed. But look, it's fantastic to have the opportunity to come here for my first time. Red Bull have organised what they call the running show car event. We're going to be downtown. We have an area of the city that will be exclusively to put a Formula One car on the street. Oh. And, you know, I'm an old Formula One guy, but to still have the opportunity to bring Formula One to the fans of the sport is a real pleasure. So looking forward to it.
So when you say I'm an old Formula One guy, what it means? I mean, the racer is always a racer until the end of his life. That's how I see it. That's how I understand you guys. So you cannot be, I mean, I don't know. Does it ever leave you, the passion, or?
No, the fan is still within me. You know, I grew up watching Formula One on television as a young boy in the southwest of Scotland. It's a farming region. You know, I was more likely to be milking the cows than being a racing driver, but because my family had a passion for racing, that gave me that opportunity. But having raced in Formula One for 15 years and then retired, the fan is still there. So, you know, I love to be part of the Formula One circuit. I work for British television, so I'm still doing the tour. And then because of Red Bull, I get the chance to come to new countries and new cities like this and, you know, meet people that are also fans of Formula One. And there's young fans and there's old fans and there's everything in between.
It is. Tell me the car that you will drive. Can you use the term car or just to say formula? Or?
It's a car.
Vehicle, yeah.
It's a car at the end of the day, yeah. So basically the car we'll drive is the formula that I was racing. So it's obviously Formula One, but it's the V8 engine. So it's not the full hybrid car that we have today.
So it should be even more fun for the audience than... Yeah, the sound is amazing.
The soundtrack is incredible. You know, it's a high revving, 18,000 RPM. It's it's going to be echoing around the streets of the city. So I think it's a really cool car to have and show and engage with people. So I'm hoping a lot of locals will turn out and see the car.
So are you familiar with the event, like with the timeline, who's doing what's happening when? Probably it's not only you sitting and driving, there must be something before and after you? Or?
Yeah, there's a whole, Red Bull, as you might have noticed, they're pretty good when it comes to putting on events. So there'll be a whole show of different displays going on. We have 2 Formula One cars here. There's another ex-driver like myself, Patrick Friesacker, who will be in the other car as well. So we really want to do something special. Normally we only run 1 car, but we're looking to run 2 cars here. We really appreciate everyone that's been part of allowing us to come and close down part of the city. Because I know there's a lot of events going on this weekend.
Well, actually, I must tell you something. It's totally crazy tomorrow. It's like we have or we don't have Euro Pride. You know what is the Pride?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So we should have it, but the police want to cancel it because the right-wing parties are against it, so we still don't know if it's going to happen or it's not going to happen. And then we have the promotion of the latest generation of the officers from the Serbian army, like 1 mile from you. And we have you guys. And then probably there is some game. I'm 100% sure there's going to be some football game. And so it's going to be a very, very, very interesting day.
A busy weekend.
Yeah, busy weekend, but I'm sure that the busiest thing is going to be your event, because it's really unique. And I think we never saw Formula One until this time in Belgrade. And we are used to Red Bull events because it's always amazing. They're doing it for years. Snowboards, airplanes, everything, And now this is like the the cherry on the top of the cream, I think, you know.
So here's the thing. I noticed we're not that too dissimilar in size. So maybe you should come down and drive the car.
Well, I used to do it. I must tell you now this. But I have the height, but I don't have the weight. My weight is for the monster trucks, you know.
No, come on. What are you, like 75, 76 kilos?
In primary school, yeah. In primary school, yeah. I was in McLaren factory in near London, you know, and we had some drivings, and they put me in the car because they had to take the size of everybody, you know, in case you win. The main reward was you drive Formula on the Silverstone, you know. So I hardly came inside, you know. It was so shrinked, and I was 15 kilos less than now, you know. And then I was amazed with the technology and everything that they used. You know, it was really, for me, like I was in a spaceship. But I don't know. Maybe I can try. You know.
Why not?
If you give me the size of the hole, I will check. You know?
Yeah. Listen, look, we'll just take out the seats.
Take out everything, okay?
We'll put some olive oil or.
I'll leave the upper part outside. You know, so I'm gonna do like this.
Exactly. No problem.
Actually, I had an experience with Caparo too. You know, the double-seater?
Yeah.
Mika Hakkinen was driving me in this, and I even think that he cursed me, because in one curve, you know, I was on him, you know, and he was like, you know, and then he continued to drive. So, I don't know, maybe I will come and try, you know.
So, Mika and I were teammates for 7 years.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
And I was with him last week, actually, at an event in Copenhagen. So we're buddies, and we still see each other, and we still argue about who was doing the right thing and the wrong thing as racers.
You did have a great relations, the two of you, as far as I remember.
Absolutely, yeah.
And he was saying very good things about you, and you were very
Mika
good teammate, you know.
Yeah, he was a great champion. You know, he really was at the same level as Michael Schumacher and the drivers at that time. So yeah, you always learn from your teammate.
Let me broadcast now the short promo about the event, and then we're gonna stick to this story, because I love that part much better than the first one. You know, I'm sorry. So let's see what you can expect. So we can invite everybody to come and to feel this experience, you know.
Absolutely. I hope everyone that's in the audience is going to come down and join the show. As you can see from this, today I spend a lot of time going round in circles, doing donuts. You know, in my career, it was all about going fast in a straight line. But, you know, I think the show that we put on is really engaging, whether you're not a fan of Formula One, whether you're just curious. Yeah, I think the great thing about the sport is it attracts young boys and girls and old men and women. You know, it's everything in
with
between.
the same passion.
Absolutely. Mobility, the noise of the car.
It is. I remember, because when I was driving this in Silverstone Lane in London, and then when I came back, it was on TV, you know, and I was driving with some pilots on the airplane, and they keep asking me about how does it feel like, and then I asked them, are you guys aware that you're riding the big bird through the sky, you know, with, I mean, 300 people inside, and you keep asking me about the formula, and I believe that your job is the best in the world, and they both told me that they would change it immediately for experience of driving the formula. Is there any possibility for a young man to even imagine how cool and how good it is and how hard it is now, since you have the experience as a boy dreaming about it and then as a very successful driver?
Yeah, well, that's where I think karting is a great sort of proving ground and experience. You know, go-karting, whether it's the little fun kart at the amusement park or whether it's going to a professional kart track. You know, I have a 13-year-old son who I didn't encourage to go racing, but he turned to me and said, Dad, I want to race. who's karting. In fact, on Sunday, I'll be in England with him when he's racing.
But this is in your family, yeah?
Yeah, my father raced.
Grandfather as
Yes,
well, yeah.
exactly, and then I ended up racing. My sister raced as well, and
Really?
she
I didn't know
actually,
that.
I think she was more naturally talented than I was, but I think all the focus went on me as the older brother. So I've always regretted that she didn't get more support. But I think that's a great thing about motor racing. It's like horse, show jumping or 3-day eventing. It doesn't matter whether you're male or female. If you're good enough, you can compete.
Yeah. I even heard once from a guy that if both drivers are skillful enough and the cars are equally well, the one whose weight is less is going to win. It's like...
Yeah? Weight is an advantage.
Weight is an advantage, or disadvantage, depending
well,
either
exactly.
you or me.
Yeah, 10 kilograms will cost you about 0.3 of a second. Oh. So, that's a huge amount each and every lap. So you definitely need to make sure you're on the weight.
Okay, so no chances for me, never mind. You started when you were 11, yeah?
Yes.
Is it too early? Is it the good time? Is it the perfect time?
That was, at the time, the earliest you could start. But, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, whoever your favorite driver is, Charles Leclerc, they all started at 8 years old. And of course, they've been testing before that. But the entry level is 8 years old. So young boys and girls are already starting to learn how to race at that age.
So it's a bit of a science. I really didn't... I was at the beginning thinking only you sit and you drive the car and as fast you are, it's going to be like this or like that. But then I had the opportunity to see it's really a science, not only about the preparation of the vehicle, but the preparation of a driver and the amount of information that the driver needs to have in his head, plus the knowledge and skills and good physical condition. And do you see any sport that is maybe more demanding than Formula One?
Well, I think, look, every sport has its unique challenge, there's no question. I did a charity football match with Mick Schumacher and Sebastian Vettel before the Belgian Grand Prix. And of course, I'm 51, but the next day I was like struggling to walk, never mind run. So I think that we have to appreciate every sport takes dedication, takes, physical application and mental, focus and what have you. But what I love about motor racing in Formula One is it's not just about the physical capabilities of the human being. You need the machine, and for the machine you need engineers, you need mechanics, you need a team of people. So as sports go, Formula One employs 1,000 people in a team, 80 of those go to the Grand Prix. It truly is an example of teamwork.
It's
that's
like
what I love.
You have how many teams, and then you have in every team you have 2 drivers, and each driver has its own team. And then when they move, as far as I understood, they are moving the entire garage and the shell. The shells are at the same place, they put it in the same place in the boxes, and they move like every 2 weeks all around the world.
Formula One is a circus. They literally take the circus tent, which is the pit lane, to, we were in the last Grand Prix in Italy, the next Grand Prix will be Singapore, then we go to Japan, then we go to South America. They move everything around, and it's the same 20 drivers and the same 10 teams. So I think it's an incredible example of logistics, as well as engineering.
Yeah, I never saw something like that, really. I mean, I've been in many sport events all around the world, but something like this, such a big but perfect organization about moving stuff, and then based on how you're ranked, you get the position in the circus and stuff like that. I was really, really surprised. And like 30 people with one guy, and then it's everything on him, and he might be 7th, and it's still good result, but nobody's happy, It's like it's really a huge disappointment after the podium, It's like nobody cares if you're 4th or 10th. I mean, it does at the end, but
it's true. Like in 100-meter final, who finished second? The guy who finished second knows.
Nobody gives
his family knows, but we don't know. So this is true of all sport. We're always looking for the best. And in Formula One, at any given time, you find out who that person is. But that doesn't mean the person who's in 20th is not talented, is not working hard. But the goal is for them to move forward.
You mentioned the Mika Häkkinen and Schumacher and many other drivers. We can say that you spent your career in an amazing era of racing, with the great drivers, really the legends of the sport. So how do you see it today? Was it a curse or a blessing for you?
Now, I wanted to race at the highest level, which was Formula One, against whoever was the best driver, and then find out where did I fit in. And what I know is I was not the best driver, but, you know, I could win occasionally and I could do some good performances. So I don't lose any sleep, the fact that I didn't win the championship, because the guys that were winning championships were what I would consider truly great drivers. So, you know, what my message would be to people is you don't enter something because you know you'll win. You enter something because you don't know what's going to happen. But what you do discover is pushing yourself to the limit.
You must have a big wish to win it.
Yeah, of course, you have a big desire to win, and you want to discover how far you can push yourself. And that's ultimately what sport does.
Your beginning was very, very tricky, if I can use that word. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you used to be the test driver at Williams, yes? And after the tragic incident with Senna, you basically filled his place in a team, and I cannot imagine the harder goal for a sportsman, you know, like to replace Ayrton Senna, you know, and still you're young, full of ambitions, and yeah.
Sure.
So was this big pressure for you in that time, and how did you feel about it?
Yeah, well, look, it's impossible to replace someone like Senna. He was one of the true great drivers, if not the best driver, in depending on your opinion, of all time.
No,
so
I think the same.
Yeah, so my focus at that time was not trying to be Ayrton. What my goal was to respect Ayrton by giving 100%, being the best I can be. And that was the opportunity that was given to me. I was given that chance because Ayrton, when I was test driver to him, had told Frank Williams that he really believed I had talent and he believed I had potential, which is always...
Did you find out that later? Or?
Yeah, I found out afterwards because Frank, when Frank Williams signed me, he told me, I'm doing this because I believe in you and because Ayrton told me he believes in you. And then the journey was the journey. But, you know, it's a great and sad reminder just how life is. You know, Ayrton was, and still is, one of the most famous drivers in the history of the sport, but he passed away when he was 34 years old. He was so young. He had so much of his life ahead of him, but he'd achieved so much and influenced so many people in such a short period of time.
Well, the things that he was doing, you know, we didn't see things like that before, I think, you know. Like,
yeah, he pushed the boundaries.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
He was really doing something very special, you know. But basically, you also did, when you came to Red Bull, it was not the Red Bull that we know today, yeah? It was like at the beginning, and I think that maybe you are the founder of something that will become the legendary team if we take Vettel, for example, and Max Verstappen, what he's doing now.
Sure. I think
but you're the guy who made the first step, and I think you brought him the podium, yeah, and first time for them, or am I wrong
absolutely.
About it, yeah?
You know, this is the thing, and it would seem so obvious when I'm sitting here tonight because I'm going to be driving the Red Bull on Saturday, but this is sincerely the position. You know, I still have a relationship with Red Bull today at 51 years old because of the journey we started when I was 35, and because of the way that relationship built. It was built in a way where I did my job for as best and as long as I could, and then I retired because there was a coming driver, Sebastian Vettel, who was better than I was and went on to win 4 world championships. But I think
true legend also.
Yeah, incredible the journey he's had in his career. But because I knew the time to step away, then that's built a relationship that still endures today. And not many companies have that sort of loyalty and that respect.
I know that, but not so many people can recognize the moment to step away. So what do you think, where did that come from? You know, is it from your family or from your personal experience or your personality? I don't know.
Well, look, I come from this point of view where you can fool other people, but you can't fool yourself unless you're delusional, and then you need to go and see the doctor. And so I felt at the beginning of 2008, I just didn't feel I had the hunger anymore. And without hunger and commitment, you should not be at the front line. That you need to be 100% committed, because anything else, you'll be beaten. So that reality is really difficult for people to acknowledge. But you know, I'm sure even in your career, there's been moments where you've been doing something and you just didn't feel the passion for that anymore. and that was the catalyst for you to change and do something different?
Well, basically still not, but I'm ready for that moment, you know, and I'm also brought the decision that if it ever happens, you know, that's it, that's the end for me.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my secret if you want. If you have time, you know. It's
absolutely, please.
Every time when I'm supposed to start a season, and this is my 14th season, and this is the episode number 1 in the 14th season, a day or two before the shooting, you know, I'm starting to feel this fear that this is not it, you know, that I don't have it anymore, and that I don't like it anymore, and can somebody else go and do it? And then when I come here and go down the stairs, because that's how the show begins, you know, I have a stand-up comedy, and I go down the stairs, I always feel it, you know, on the stairs. And then I said to the guys, you know, if the day comes when I go down the stairs and I don't feel nothing, I'll just walk.
You just keep walking.
Yeah, I'll just keep walking, you know, and I'm going to leave everything.
Well, look, I'm glad that, because this is your first episode, you didn't just keep walking.
Yeah, it could happen today, my friend. It could happen today, you know, but it didn't. So, and this is something that I really believe in, you know, because if you don't feel it, there is no reason. You already did everything, you know. You've been the champion. You took the same in my case, you know. If there is no this passion or my personal believing that it's needed to be done, then there is no reason to waste time on that.
Absolutely.
Let's go back to Mika, and I have some video. What was Mika saying about you? So if it's fine with you, we can put it on. Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to say for David, thank you very much. It's very fair, I would say, racing and excellent teamwork. I'm not saying this because it's easy for me to say because I won. I said it because we have quite a special relationship with David, and racing situation like this, what David did was just remarkable. And looking back in the history, I don't have seen many drivers doing things like this. So I have to thank you very much.
I choose this because I didn't see many press conferences in my life where one guy speaks like this about the other guy, you know.
I was sitting there and I don't remember him saying that. I think at the time there was a lot of emotion. That was after the first Grand Prix in Australia, and we had changed positions. But Mika and I, as I mentioned, were 7 years as teammates.
There's the race where he came to the box and they were not ready.
That's
and then
right.
He lost the number 1.
There you go. He made a mistake. That's right. And then we addressed it, and he won the Grand Prix. And we do a lot of events together today, and we both live in Monte Carlo. We see each other when we're there. And because we've been through that relationship of I've seen him cry, he's seen me cry with emotion, I've seen him win a world championship. When you've been through all of those emotions with a teammate, you really know that person.
Yeah.
And that allows us today to share time together, which is really special. And Mika is a good man. He was too fast. He was too fast, which was really annoying.
I must tell you something, you know, when he was driving me twice. First time was in Capara, but the second time was really sick. He was driving us on Silverstone in Mercedes S-Class, okay? And he's supposed to show us the drifting, you know?
Yeah.
And I came into the car, and he had the helmet, and inside was Beethoven or Mozart, I'm not sure, some aria or whatever, you know, and he was so calm, and he really got our guts going up and down. You know, what he did with the car, it was completely abnormal, but he didn't change anything. You know, he was just like, I'm bored here with these guys, you know, showing the drifts. But it was really amazing skills and speed also I saw in this Capara. And I mean, but all the guys, you know, it's like, you must be crazy to drive this formula, you know, that's what my father says always.
Yeah, well, you think so, but, you know, I think my experience of race drivers, especially at that level, they're actually more, let's say, risk-averse. They're more science-based. You know, this is not a sport where you just jump off the mountain and see what happens.
Of course, yeah.
This is a sport where you build up and you have to feel the car and you have to trust in the engineering. So I get it. I get why people think you must be crazy because they're fast cars.
Yeah.
But actually, I don't know anyone in Formula One who's had success who's crazy. They're all, you know, if a Formula One driver, you know,
you cannot see a tree from a forest, you know?
Yeah, there you go. No, but you know, if I had a daughter, which I don't, but if I had a daughter and the doorbell rang and the person who's there is a young Formula One driver, I would think, oh, okay, you know, he can date my daughter. If it was a rally driver or a MotoGP guy, I'd think, oh, this guy's crazy. I don't want him to date my daughter.
So did you ever try rally?
I've done a little bit of, like, say, testing.
It's a completely different story.
But it's a completely different challenge. Those guys are crazy.
Yeah. Tell me about that. Actually, I think it's a commercial time now. So can we make a short break for the commercials?
100%,
and then continue the conversation, yeah? Okay, ostanite sa nama i nakon reklama. Imamo specijalnu muzičku gošću za vas, a posle nastavljamo razgovor.
Ostanite sa nama.
Shook hands and agreed to disagree. At the time, the emotions were so high, he thought I'd done something deliberately, which is, I would never do. The truth is, I also had a sideline as a pizza delivery boy, and I had to get that pizza to the guy within a certain period of time, otherwise it would get cold.
Or you have to pay it, you know?
Anyway, my grandmother would always say, dreaming is what you do when you sleep. Achieving is what you do when you work. And I dream vividly. I have beautiful dreams.
Ćao, draga.
Zdravo, zdravo.
Dobro.
Odlično.
Dobro mi došla. Večer sad tu smo razgovarali o ovom Red Bull show run, jel tako se zove događaj, i ti ćeš pevati himnu Srbije na tom događaju.
Hoću.
Međutim, nećeš večera s nama pevati himnu Srbije.
Ne,
večeras. Može Alja bila da bude himna Srbije?
Pa može kao generalna proba.
Kao neki medli, znaš? Da. Dve budale sprdaju se s himnom, izbacimo ih sve napad. Dobro, šalim se. Šta ćeš nam pevati večeras? Dugo nisi bila tu, 8 godina nisi bila.
Da, s Aleksom Jelićem sam poslednji put bila, jeste. Pevaću pesmu koja se zove Blizu. To je, eto, naslovna numera s mog albuma.
To je ovo što meni nisu dozvolili da budem blizu tebe.
Pa dobro, ostani ovdje sam, možda ostani.
Ja ću malo da se sakrijem ispod klavijature ovdje, znači. To jest, stajaću ispod klavijature i da. I da su počeli iz svih bendova dolaze ljudi od po 2 metra, znaš.
Jeste, da, to sam isto primetila.
Tako da si mi ti najdraža danas ovdje.
Okej.
Je li još neki novi album, nešto, šta se dešava?
Imam novi album koji je izašao u junu, drugi po redu. I eto, sad imamo koncerte. Ne znam, baš sam onako oduševljena da je publika već sve nove pesme zna, što mi je jako drago.
Dobro, tebe publika baš voli, to si vjerojatno i sama primetila do sada, ne moram ja ti govorim.
Jesam, voli, ali nekako ipak ovo je muzika koja nije mainstream i onda sam baš srećena kada vidim da ljudi sve pesme znaju.
Ja sam primetio nešto, ako izdržiš dovoljno dugo, uopšte ne moraš da budeš mainstream.
Tako je.
Dovoljno je samo da imaš love, da sebe finansiraš tih 10 godina dok ne uspeš.
Pa mislim, jel izgledam ko da imam love? Dobro mi ide za sada.
Ok, ja sam siguran da će svi uživati u tvojoj pesmi večeras koja se zove Blizu. Slušajte Tijanu Bogićević i dođite posle reklama, nastavljamo razgovor, bit će još i komičari posle toga. Počela je 14. sezona i kao što možete da vidite, već kidamo. Tijana Bogićević.
Hvala.
Poznati dalek previše, ti se kao lavirint, s tobom ljubav mi na tajnu miriše. Srca nam se okrznu, kad ugledamo se u prolazu. Sve se sa mnom prošao, u svoje glavi više puta sigurno. Nek voli sve, samo voli me. Blizu, tako dugo smo blizu, da mene sve blizu i krv dodiruje. Blizu, tako dugo smo blizu, a već pogled tvoj me košu miluje. Srca nam se okrznu, kad ugledamo se u prolazu. Sve si sa mnom prošao, u svojoj glavi više puta sigurno. Nek voli sve, samo voli me.
It's like I have to put some of your driving on the screen, you know. And then I was thinking what to do, and I was researching, and there was like I don't know, a lot of stuff.
There's a lot more crashes than success.
No, I choose one success. Okay.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
If you, I think we have this when you pass Schumacher, like people say that it's like the best move in your career. There is a top 10 of your career, and then this passing Schumacher is at #1, and I believe we have it. So
Coulthard can get the nose of that McLaren exactly where he wants to. The McLarens are faster than the Ferraris at this stage of the race. Now what's going to happen, look, and Coulthard again, he appears to have a much better car under braking into that hairpin, so if he can stay close enough, just like with Barrichello, he's going to be able to get past Michael Schumacher. But look, Coulthard appears to have good speed in the middle. Again, could come to the white line. Can he pick up a bit of slipstream now? He's just about close enough. Yes, he is homing in, and Michael Schumacher knows it, and he goes to the inside. Now we know Coulthard's better under braking, and he tries to go around the outside. Oh, don't get too close to him, Dave, for goodness sake, you'll be popped up in the air. But Coulthard, he knows he's got to show Michael Schumacher some muscle.
They have to get a 1-2 finish ahead of Michael Schumacher, and how are they going to do it? As we work lap 38 of this race, we've just passed the halfway stage. Schumacher, Coulthard, Häkkinen, Barrichello being dropped now, 3.8 seconds behind.
James, sorry to interrupt. Look, but this time David is going to get up the inside, surely. Yes, he is. And now he's got track position. He'll run Michael out. That was super stuff from Coulthard. He made Schumacher have to lift off, and can Häkkinen make good use of that now? And, well, Michael holding his line, but David is really in. I wouldn't want to meet him this afternoon anywhere.
You know, there is I would probably ask you in a different way, you know, like how big your sack is, you know, to do something like this. An amazing move. And what was going through your head?
No, look, I love that race. I had to fight hard to go through and eventually win, but the truth is, I also had a sideline as a pizza delivery boy, and I had to get that pizza to the the guy within a certain period of time, otherwise I get cold.
Or you have to pay it. You know?
Yeah, and I don't get my tip. So, but yeah, this was a period of time where the McLaren, Ferrari were fighting hard, and you know, Michael was quite an aggressive driver, of course. So you had to really be very clear when you were trying to overtake him.
When you bring the decision to pass near somebody, what are the things that you should take in consideration as a driver? Not only your, I mean, you know, your speed, his speed, you know, conditions. Is it the right turn, left turn?
Yeah.
It's like a lot of operations in your head, yeah?
Well, look, there's a lot of things you have to work out based on your performance and what you believe the car can do. But of course, the variable is you don't know what the other driver's going to do. Yeah. You don't know where they're going to position the car. So there's an element of trying to create the opportunity by surprising the other person. So Michael was not easy to race with because he was very spatially aware. But on that day, my car was quicker and I was destined to win the race.
Yeah, it was a good moment, really.
Yeah.
I heard that you had another good moment, was making Superman to jump into the swimming pool naked, yeah?
Yeah, Christian Horner. Yeah, he was he is the team principal of Red Bull Racing. And we, for some ridiculous reason, agreed that if I got a podium during the Monte Carlo Grand Prix, he would jump in the water naked, which he partially did. Because
he had this Superman...
Yeah, he had the cape covering... Cape, yeah. He didn't have the cape because he's so big he needs a cape to cover it. But we were sponsored by Superman at the time. Yeah.
Tell me about the Monte Carlo. They say that it's completely specific race. Probably it's not only because it's in the city, and there are other city races, but is it the streets or the hills and downs, and what makes it so special? And
yeah, it's an incredible place. Been racing, or let's say not Formula One as we know it today, but they've raced there since 1916. Yeah. So racing on the streets of Monte Carlo has happened for a very long time. To take a Grand Prix car around the streets of Monaco is incredibly challenging because you make a mistake, you crash. Simple as that. There's no room for error. And therefore, it's this love-hate relationship the drivers have with Monte Carlo. They love the challenge.
Yeah.
They hate the restriction where you can't really race in terms of wheel-to-wheel overtaking.
And a lot of them lives there, yeah?
I would say more than half of the Formula One drivers are living there. I live there. I've lived there for 26 years. Djokovic is living there.
Yes.
A number of different sports stars are living in Monte Carlo because...
You won it twice, yeah?
I won the Grand Prix twice, 99 and 2001. But the Principality is a great sporting hub because logistically we're quite close to Italy. We're obviously on bordering France, not far from Spain, Germany, all these places. So logistically, it's a great place to live. And from a safety point of view, incredibly good because, you know, Premiership footballers in the UK, if they're playing football overseas, live, then people know they're not at home. So you have a lot of crime, people breaking into their houses. That doesn't happen in Monaco. It's very secure.
Yeah, okay, that's very cool. Yeah. I didn't think about that in that way, you know, it's like... I found many other reasons. I never thought it.
No, but you're a famous man. You should never send a live stream of where you are if you're not at home. Otherwise, people are going to go and visit your house and borrow your television.
There's always somebody at my home, you know.
Oh,
that's the policy, yeah.
Team of security.
I'm from that kind of neighborhood, you know. It's like, if I go somewhere, my parents go into my apartment.
Oh, okay.
Or my brother.
Yeah.
Or my daughter with her friends.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. So there's always
somebody's always at home. And usually I'm avoiding these reports on the social network, you know, where I am at the moment. That's what government do for me, you know. They always say where I am. You know? Yeah. So it's like that is my case. You know? Okay. If you would now, we could say that all three phases in your career, Williams, McLaren, and Red Bull, all three of them were amazing, yeah?
Yeah, loved them all.
Can you maybe put some more light on one of these three, or you won't, or?
Well, look, different phases. Williams was the opportunity, and Sir Frank Williams, the founder of that team, an incredible, inspirational leader. Absolute loved racing, loved racers. Yeah. Ron Dennis during the McLaren years, he was more scientific. He was more kind of Dr. Evil from the Austin Power movies. You know, he was a different personality. And then the Red Bull era it's just an incredible journey because Red Bull are an energy drinks company.
Wow.
But through the ownership of Mr. Matiship and through the leadership of Christian Horner and Helmut Marko, who run the team, they have taken this energy drinks company and they have beaten Ferrari, Mercedes, Honda when they had a team, Renault when they had a team, you know, Toyota when they had a team.
Well, they did it reverse. Instead of investing money in commercials on TV, like, for example, other soft drinks are doing, you know, they start to develop this...
They invest in people.
Yeah, they invest in people, and it came back, I think, 3 times bigger than
well, you look
marketing
at
money, you know?
100%. If you look at the Musketeers universities, a lot of the young influencers there are part of the Red Bull program, and I just, of course, I feel very privileged to have been part of that journey because it's sincere, it's real, and there's no sort of big boardroom behind it deciding what's happening. There's a heart and a soul that makes these decisions, and that's what I think makes it very special.
And it's a rare thing in any sports, I believe, you know, to find people like that.
100%.
So let's see now, we spoke about your good relations with everybody, and I assume that's the truth, but there must be somebody, you know, like, with whom you didn't have such a good relations, you know. Of course, I'm referring to...
My ex-wife?
Yeah. Was she a good racer? I was thinking about racing, you know.
Okay.
But since you mentioned it, there is one more thing we have in common. Anyhow, about the other racers, I remember the Schumacher incident in Spa, you know, everybody speak about it for years. But obviously from your story, I think you were good friends with him. I mean, in good relations or...
Yeah, off track we had good relations. On track we, of course, very often
on track,
clashed.
You cannot have good
but
relations.
this is the thing. You can be, you know, professional and then private. And, you know, Michael was a great champion. Occasionally he pushed the boundaries further than I thought was fair.
Yeah.
And occasionally we fell out because of that.
Okay, I think we have this video as well, so I would like to broadcast it also.
He's been on the podium 4 times already this season.
We can see Jean-Todt walking down the pit lane, talking to the McLaren team, and that's why, because Michael Schumacher is trying to lap David Coulthard. Coulthard struggling around his McLaren, just not happy at all in these conditions for whatever reason. And we've seen the Ferrari team boss walking down the pit lane.
And let us not forget that David Coulthard in these appalling conditions. Oh, God! Michael Schumacher hits David Coulthard and is out of the Belgian Grand Prix. Maybe he should have been a bit more circumspect about trying to pass him, but he is out. And Mika Häkkinen, in the nicest possible way, will be delighted. The World Championship situation is now the same as it was when the Belgian Grand Prix started, and Damon Hill is in the lead. Michael Schumacher won't be the least bit interested in that technical fact. Angrily throws his steering wheel out of the cockpit with every good reason. You can understand his fury, because he's now effectively lost the chance of taking the World Championship lead. Now, what is he up to? He's storming down the pit lane, presumably to go. Look at him! He's saying, "I'm going to the stewards." James, can you enlighten? He's going to Coulthard. He's going to have it out with David Coulthard. This is a bit like Nigel Mansell and Ayrton Senna at that Belgian Grand Prix when Nigel got him by the throat. James, what's the news?
Unbelievable altercation, as you say. Jean Todt there, he's dragged his driver away. Michael, absolutely furious. I just saw the car as I came in, absolutely destroyed the front suspension. He's walking past me now. He's ready, he's close to tears, guys. He really is. He cannot believe this race has gone away from him.
Yeah. So I must tell you what my guys said. My crew said that if he came in, that you would smack him.
I still had my crash helmet on, so I could take a punch. There's no question. So, now, clearly he wasn't happy.
Yeah, but I think he lost maybe the title because of this, yeah?
I don't actually remember that. Yeah, actually, yeah, he did. Mika won the championship, 98, yeah.
That year.
But
what he thought was your blame. That's what I didn't understand.
Look, I didn't see. I knew he's behind me. The team told me to let him pass, which is why I'm hugging the white line.
Right, yeah.
But he couldn't see me, and it was just a... one of those things that we spoke about afterwards, not immediately, but a few days later we spoke about it, and of course we shook hands and agreed to disagree. At the time, the emotions were so high, he thought I'd done something deliberately, which is, I would never do. For me, sport
you put the gas off, yeah? I believe. You probably put the gas a little bit off.
No, I slowed to allow him to overtake, but I didn't know he was going to...
Maybe he didn't see it from the rain and everything.
100% he couldn't see me, but the thing that I was nervous, if I'd pulled to the left, when he pulled to the left, then he could have hit me, where I thought, logically, if I just stay on the racing line and go slowly, maybe he'll find a way past. But anyway, it's one of those things that gets replayed, and I'm sorry.
Didn't have any consequences on your relations later, yeah?
I think I had to buy the drinks for the next few parties, but then after that it was okay.
You would do that anyhow.
Yeah.
It's not a problem. So let's... I wanted to ask you about this new era, it's like this turbo era is different experience than the old engines about the sound. And I remember Alonso testing the car and then going out being like, what the fuck is this? It's like there is no sound. Everything is changing. The drivers are changing. The cars are changing. So how do you see it? And where do you see Formula in, let's say, 5 years?
Well, look, I think that, of course, inevitably things had to change because Formula One has to be part of influencing automotive for the future. The hybrid formula we have today is the most fuel-efficient engine in the world. So that influences the automotive industry going forward. Everyone's pushing towards electric as an entity where nobody's considering how you charge these things. They're not charged purely by solar or by wind. So that's not the solution in the long term. The reality is it'll be a combination of, hybrids, fully electric for the cities,
do you think that speed can go up? Do you think that the speed can go up in the future? Yeah, the development.
No, of course, the development. Technology will move forward. Hydrogen cells will be a big part of the future as well. So Formula One right now is ideally placed to help influence that. These are fast cars. They've got 1,000 horsepower. Yes, they're quite heavy because the batteries are heavy. And that has, as I mentioned to you earlier, that costs you about 0.3 of a second per lap for every 10 kilograms. So a modern Formula One car is around 800 kilograms, where when I was racing, there were 605 kilos. So like you and I, they've put on a bit of weight as we get older. But, this will find its own natural balance going forward. But Formula One is more popular today than it's ever been. America has woken up through the Netflix Drive to Survive series, and people are going, wow, Formula One's interesting. We have brilliant young drivers. You've got Max Verstappen as the Red Bull world champion. You've got Charles Leclerc from Ferrari, Carlos Sainz.
Do you think we have a switch of generations now?
Fantastic generation. You've got Lewis Hamilton at 35. Great champion and still looking young and motivated.
You believe he still has some chances, like, to break the Schumacher's record?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
You think he can win the championship?
I think he has another, as a driver, he has a championship in him, but it will be
But you said it's not only the driver, there's
the team has to be at the top level, yeah. And that's where Mercedes did a great job for several years. Lewis made a great choice in being there. But right now, this is Max Verstappen's time.
That's what I think. You know, I believe that in the next few seasons we're gonna see Max winning, and then maybe somebody after let's say Max do it 3 times, maybe somebody will take one, and then Max again. You know, it's really amazing what he's doing, and the team looks perfect, and he's driving like he's from the other planet. You know.
Yeah.
That's my impression at this moment.
Yeah, no, Max is at an incredibly high level, but I think we have to recognise that Formula One has some great adversaries for him. You know, Charles Leclerc, as I said, at Ferrari, Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris, George Russell, Alex Albon. You know, there's a whole bunch. Lewis, of course, is still a great champion.
Last week this young driver, De Vries.
Yeah, absolutely.
He had a debut.
You know, he's only little. He's a tiny little racer. He's a Formula E racer, but Nick is a fellow Dutchman, 27 years old. He's won championships, but somehow didn't find his way to Formula One. But he showed at the weekend he's more than capable, and maybe he has a contract for next year.
Can you explain the passion for racing among the island boys, let's say the people from Great Britain?
Yeah.
We really had something like 10, 15 great racers from Scotland, England, and even the champions. And is there any explanation for that?
I think it's just historically, after the war, there was a lot of airfields and a lot of racing was building up. So I think a lot of the teams were based there. And of course, if you've got teams, you've got engineers, you've got mechanics, you've got drivers. Today, Formula One is an international sport. You know, it's got men and women from all the nations that are either working for Ferrari or Alfa Romeo in Switzerland, or, you know, AlphaTauri in Italy. And then the rest of the teams are all based in England. So the UK has always had a lot of British talent, and I think that a lot of it is to do with growing up in karting in the UK. You deal with all sorts of weather. You race in snow, you race in the rain a lot. You race in, you know, a very brief summer. But I think it gives you a very wide driving skill.
At the end, I always ask my guests, if of course the guests are on your level, there is many young people that will see this interview, and some young racers. We have Lazar with us tonight. You already met him with a broken left arm, and his friends probably at home watching on TV. And this is always a good opportunity for a guy like you to send some message to them, like for the future. I know you cannot give them the recipe just like that, but maybe to, you know, tell them something that will stay in their heads, and that they will maybe remember in the future when they become champions, you know?
Okay, 2 things then. I remember my late grandmother used to say to me, and you know how a lot of people talk about how I dream of this, I dream of that. Anyway, my grandmother would always say, dreaming is what you do when you sleep. Achieving is what you do when you work. Yeah. So her vision was about work. So I don't want to spoil anyone's dreams, but you know, I dream vividly. I have beautiful dreams, but you know, you have to work. You have to get on. And the thing I tell my son, and you know, you were talking. We met earlier, and you know, I think he's got a very good look in his eye to be a future champion.
Yeah, he's on fire.
Absolutely, absolutely. But what I tell my son is, talent will take you so far, but someone else has the same talent as you in the world, so you have to outwork them. If you're not prepared to outwork someone else's talent, you don't deserve success. No. You don't deserve it. You have to work. And natural talent will take a footballer or a tennis player or any, you know, television presenter to a certain level, but you know how hard you worked to get to the next level. And I know how hard I worked to hold on in Formula One.
Well, at the end, you did it in 2 sentences, you know. I thought you cannot do it, but obviously you have some wisdom with you. I don't even have the words to explain you how happy I am that you were the guest on my show, you know. And you're absolutely in this 15% of people that they spoke to you about during the commercials. So thank you very much to spend your time with me here, and thank you very much for visiting Belgrade, and thank you very much for driving Formula in Belgrade, and I'm sure that everybody are going to have a great fun, and I wish all the best to you, and I wish all the best to your son, and I hope he's going to go at least 1 step above you.
I hope so.
And I think you're going to be happy with that.
Yeah,
so thanks a lot today, really.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Ostanite sa nama, dolaze nam komičari. Dobro, gospodo, jeste dobro, sve okej, živi, zdravi, pravi. Kako je prošlo leto?
Korektno.
Korektno, a?
Super.
Johnny, tebi?
Zaboravno.
U smislu da ćeš ga ti što pre zaboraviti?
Tako je.
Znači, nije bilo nikakvih avantura i to?
Nije, ali...
Radiš na tome?
Čuvam snagu za zimu, za finiš sezone.
Da. Zimi su ribe dlakave, znaš.
Eto šanse.
Dobro. Svašta smo naučili tokom leta, a da vidimo šta smo naučili prethodne nedelje. Da je u košarci bitnije da imaš više poena nego MVP igrača od protivnika. Da članovi REM-a ne znaju šta se dešava u Zadruzi, jer je to pristojna Srbija koja takve stvari ne gleda. Da predsjednik ne ide u Emirate zbog sebe, nego zbog nas, i time nas je sve zadužio. Da ćemo morati da štedimo struju, ali je bar nećemo trošiti na podgrevanje mleka. Da je predsjednikov otac bio na litijama protiv gej parade, jer je ona gej rođaka verovatno sa majčine strane. A?
Logično.
Tako, predsjednik je rekao da ima gej rođaku, rekao da nju voli...
Ne nju ni za što.
Tako je. A pošto je Ćale išao na ove litije, znači da je ovo sigurno po maminoj strani.
Sigurno.
Tako je, eto. Dobro, gospodo, predlažem da igramo one naše rečenice, ako ste raspoloženi.
Jesmo.
Ali da bi igra bila regularna, neophodno je da Bane unese mikrofon i zato sada... Bane unosi mikrofon! Bate, sve do.
Boga mi.
A sam ronjao, sve kapacitet pluća. Dobro, gospodo, igramo rečenica koja je loš slogan za uštedu struje. Rečenica koja je loš slogan za uštedu struje.
Ove zime svaka soba je zamrzivač.
Gaće suši, dvopek što se puši.
Jedan televizor na celu zgradu i onako nemate izbor.
Čekaj, Johnny ustao.
Hoćeš, Johnny, ajde.
Da.
Upaljač, boca plina, milina.
Loš je slogan za uštedu struje, ne za samoubistvo, znaš.
Kupaj se ledenom vodom, kao Putin.
Loš slogan za uštedu struje.
Niz stepenice i uz da ojača guz. Liftovi stop.
Liftovi stop. Voziš se na struju, duvaj ga buržuju.
Loš slogan za uštedu struje.
Oj, Nikola, što izmisli struju, sada nema majka čime da ošiša muju.
Loš slogan za uštedu struje, idemo, gospodo.
Dođi da se punimo zajedno. Udruženje ljubitelja baterija Nikola Demonja.
Na sveću se ispit sprema, na sveću se supa greje, samo tebe ne isključuj da bi znao Vučić gde je.
Da nam svima u državi svane, palite bojler često kao Bane.
Loš slogan za uštedu struje.
Ne cikaj malo od ljutoga mraza, ja ću biti 0, a ti budi faza.
Điđe.
Kome treba struja u 21. veku kad je čovjek smislio štok, vinjak i kleku?
Ugasimo, braćo, sijalicu svaku, jer nama će predsjednik sijati u mraku.
Da, izvoli, Johnny.
Za zaradu brzu i uspeh kod žena lakše će vam biti kad rasvete nema.
Ako ne koristite struju, svaka tarifa je jeftinija tarifa.
Ovo nije smešno, ovo je logično.
Ima drva kome treba, Strugara Vesić.
Pa gde ga vraćaju?
Strugara Vesić.
Restrikcije, jer svi volimo nostalgiju.
Jeste, divno, da je bilo tako lepo kad je, ja se sjećam, da. Mama upali sveću, svi sedemo okolo, da. Tad nije bilo ni kafe, ni benzina stalno.
Grejemo se na dinare.
A i ako ti sve dosadi, ako hoćeš se rokneš, toster gledaj posle 11 da ubaciš u kadu, da ne bude...
Ne, pa kad nema struje, onda se ljudi bese iskaču sa terasa.
Da, onda.
Neće se ubijaju tosterom, još da zaviju familiju u crno.
Ne, nego ovi buržuj ima toster, hoće se pohvaliti.
Ne radi se o tome, bre, nego lud čovjek. Zamisli, nesrećica struje, on se ubije tosterom, iskoče osigurači, jem ih je sjebo, neće on imati struje, se on ubije.
Tako je, još sam potrošio koji kilovat.
Izbio lovu iz džepa za sahranu.
I dok...
Glupa ideja, ne slušajte.
I dok središ osigurač restrikcija.
Glupa ideja, izvinjavam se.
Ja mislim da komičari ne mogu da daju dobar savjet kako čovjek da se ubije.
Ne može.
Mi to nemamo, nama to nije u glavi. Osim nekima. Ok. Dobro, igramo rečenica koja je objašnjenje predsjednika zašto nema mleka. Dakle, objašnjenje predsjednika zašto nema mleka.
Ima mleka.
Dobro.
Verovatno je sabotaža iz Zagreba, ali neka Bato proveri.
Dobro, objašnjenje predsjednika zašto nema mleka.
Nisam ni primetio, znate, ja pred spavanje pijem šolju glogovog trnja.
Izvoli, Johnny.
Ova naša telad sisaju ko blesava, šta ćete?
Objašnjenje predsjednika zašto nema mleka.
Mleka ima, ali ne da svako kupi na 1000 mililitara.
Evo, samo da bi narod znao, u Nemačkoj ga nema već 10 godina.
A dok je bilo mleka, niko da pohvali, a?
Objašnjenje predsjednika zašto nema mleka. Idemo, gospodo.
Mleka ima, samo ljude mrzi da traže po našim predivnim planinama.
Objašnjenje predsjednika zašto nema mleka.
I šta sad hoćete, da izmuzem tehničku vladu? Šta?
Idemo, momci.
Oslonio sam se na krave. Izgleda da ću morati i ovo sam.
Objašnjenje predsjednika zašto nema mleka.
Nema.
Ko je bio u vojsci zna, a i naše službe su to potvrdile operativnim radom, da nam šiptari drkaju u mleku.
Moralo je biti rečeno.
Objašnjenje predsjednika, vi niste bili u vojsci. Objašnjenje predsjednika zašto nema mleka.
Čekamo da nam od Rusa stignu 4 remontovane simentalke, a Belorusija nam donira još 2 crvena Holštajna, biće mleka.
Znate, nisu krave ljudi, pa da ih nateram.
Objašnjenje predsjednika zašto nema mleka.
Lik iz Sremske Mitrovice, ministar poljoprivrede, šta je moglo da krene po zlu?
Pustite mleko, jeste vidjeli vi košarkaše šta uradiše?
Objašnjenje predsjednika zašto nema mleka.
Pustite vi mleko, jeste vidjeli da nema ni šećera?
To sigurno. Dobro, ali ima još neko? To je to.
A u štali
muk.
Muka živi.
Dobro, da bi igra bila regularna do kraja, neophodno je da Bane iznese mikrofon i zato sada Bane iznosi mikrofon! A namjerno ide sporije, nada se da ću da ostanem bez daha, je li tako, a? Ne, smo na kraju, što na kraju si gotovo, buraziru. Ja ga pustim ono.
Ubrzo sam na kraju.
Da, uradio je ovo, znaš, to moj. Dobro, gledamo rubriku Stigla me pošta. Krećemo od mesta broj 5. Jaka priča. Jaka priča, reci, ja.
Sve će se udati. Svakome pomalo.
Evo, svaka neka uzme pomalo. Mesto broj 4. Ako ste se pitali kako nastaju rupe na putu. Nije slučajno što kamioni imaju ograničenje brzine, ona, znaš, ono nalepnicu. Mesto broj 3.
Kako?
Ja ne razumem ove ljude.
Meni nije smešno, moja garaža isto niska, ja udaram glavom stalno.
Ja bukvalno ne razumem ove ljude.
Ne, ovo još gore, ovo je sebi zatvorio garažu.
Ja nikad nisam udario glavom ni u što. Majke mi. Mesto broj 2.
Ova zna kamion, onaj.
Čekaj, ali šta je drugarica koja odmah uvotila šturu, znaš? Mesto broj 1.
Ajde!
To bi bilo sve od njega. Pobednički video je poslao Jovan Obrad iz Beograda i on je dobio Ice Watch sat, moj brat od tetke. Ukoliko želite budete deo rubrike Stigla me pošta, pošaljite fotografiju ili video na veceposta@gmail.com. Momci, hvala vam što ste uveličili ovu epizodu. Bane, hvala za što god. Hvala vama što ste bili tu. Sezona 14 je krenula. Sutra 4 po muškarca sa Ivanom Ivanovićem u 21:30, što je naš najnoviji termin koji nadam se da će nam potrebati cele sezone. Ako ne...
Vidit ćemo se na novi, mislim.
Javit ćemo vam, čim budemo znali, mi ćemo vam odmah javiti, ali za sada je 21:30. Petkom smo 21:30, dok ne počne se emituje nešto bolje, onda će nas pomeriti, tako da...
Onda čujemo se pa...
Ne, ostaćemo petkom, ali da li je 7, 8, 9, nije ni važno. Ostalom, to smo videli da nije važno. Hvala svima, lako noć, prijatno, uživajte. Sutra, 4 po muškarca. Sa Ivanom Ivanovićem. 21:30.